battery connector is except on direct current. If you are like, let's say you plug charger, normally it should give us 5 volts, but that's 5 volt on the battery connector when you plug it directly.
Yeah.
But that 5 volt is not what will give us, so it's not even going to give us 5 volt. It can give us 4.8. You understand? Yeah. 4.8 or so, but it will not exceed that for this thing. So if you now power the phone, if you have to power it on with this thing like this, it is not going to come on. Why will it not come on? You are plugging charger to it and it's giving us 5 volts on, let's say, your multimeter. It's not going to turn on because you're obviously using the multimeter to read. But multimeter will give us a direct flow from the battery connector or from the charging port to the battery connector. It will give us, but a battery is not connected to it. Do you understand? So once the battery connector is connected to it, then you are expecting that the charging IC to be at work. It will see that yes, my friend is connected to us. Then it will start moving. Then the CPU also will start reading. You didn't get? Now, when you connect charger to it and you have to test with a multimeter, do you understand? You have to test with a multimeter. It will give us 4.8 or let's say 5 volts at most with a multimeter on 20 volts. Do you understand? Now, the moment you connect a battery to it, do you understand? The moment you connect a battery to it, it will not be charging that battery at 4.8. To not charge it. And this 4.8 volts is not what the phone is needed to power on. Do you understand? Because if 4.8 volts current goes into the CPU, there will be a problem. If this 4.8 volts goes into the RAM, there will be a problem. So it has to be stepped down. That's why we now have things like coil around here. We have coil around here. We have diode. We have resistors. We have capacitors to limit those current flow, because each of them will be drawing power. Now, I will now tell you why sometimes a phone will not turn on, because a failure on a particular component will necessarily mean that PCB will be short, will have a